Hey everybody, it's the Trout and welcome to another episode of the Trout Show. Thank you so much for stopping by. Well, we're almost through 2024. It's hard to believe that time has gone by so fast. And I want to provide you a new episode about a great performer that is struggling a little bit and needs your help. Now, about a year ago, I interviewed our next guest, Harold Davenport, who lives in Mississippi. Phenomenally talented harp player and a guitarist, and he's on his way to a wonderful career in the music business. He's a blues artist. And I've been following his career now for, a couple of years, and the last year he's really done well. He's been able to perform in front of some big audiences and worked on some famous people's albums and all that. But he's faced with a crossroads, which a lot of people are when they get into the music business, and that is he needs some financial assistance. Now, it's not easy for an 18-year-old, yes, 18-year-old, who lives with his mother, who is a certified nursing assistant, to go out and ask for people for money. But I know him, and I thought, well, why don't I tell you, the listener and watcher to this, that maybe you like his story, then you might want to step up and help him out. He has a GoFundMe, and I'll let him talk about all that. My job is to tell you what a wonderful performer he is, and I think he's going to make great headways in the blues business. He's already doing very well, and he keeps doing better and better. So I hope you sit back, watch or listen to this episode with young Rell. That's his stage name, so to speak. And oh, by the way, if this is your first time to watch one of my videos, would you comment down below and just say, hey, I watched this for the first time? I'd appreciate it very much. So up next, young Rell, a phenomenally talented 18-year-old blues artist, telling his story of why he needs your help on this wonderful holiday season. That's next on The Trout Show.
You so fine, wanna love you all the time. You so fine, pretty baby, wanna love you all the time. Well, I got a girl, fine and brown. What I like about her is she mine, oh mine.
Tell me a little bit about since a year's gone by. What's happened in your life?
Well,
Change. And we'll talk about the house situation at the end. So go ahead.
I mean, the biggest change has been, we're working on the album now.
Right.
Last year we were supposed to, but management switched and everything happened. So, you know, uh, that's going pretty good. I mean, other than that, I mean, there's been quite a few more gigs. They've been coming more regularly, more consistently,
Right.
and you know, just a lot of good things have been coming my way.
So,
Hmm?
no, go ahead.
I played on I was able to play on Benny Turner's new album, BT, and Freddie King's brother, and
I actually got to see Freddie King.
wow, that's great.
And I'll tell you a little quick story about it. I saw him when I was in college, which was many decades ago. And I was probably standing 10 feet away from him. He was playing in a small place. And he broke a string. Took him 2 minutes to switch that string. I was like,
That's Benny said he didn't know how to change his strings, and it was always the G string that would pop.
yeah, I'm probably sure it was. But he was playing, I was in pop, and he just kept right on talking, and that's it. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. And so you got to play on that. And where was that recorded?
Well, they recorded somewhere else. I think they recorded in New Orleans.
Okay.
I recorded my harp in Chicago at
Okay.
Joyride Studios.
And then, so you've been busy. How on the album front? Um, when do you think that'll start taking recording? Have you done any recording on it yet? Or I know you've written all
Oh,
the songs. You have? Okay.
oh yeah, we've done pretty much all of the recording. We're in the post-production stages, and
Okay.
almost we're working on finishing that up, and then we can get to mixing and mastering and whatnot.
Tell me, and I know Matt and I. We'll talk about Matt is your manager, but tell me the deal that you went to Chicago and it got a lot of people. So he kind of told me about it, and I didn't get into it too much. So what's that all about?
Well, Matt had called. He was booking. He still does. He works for this this Logan Center,
Hmm.
Chicago, University of Chicago, and they had this gig, Three Generations of Blues. It was me, Stephen Hall, Carlos Johnson, Billy Branch, and so I did my solo set, and I opened for them. And I guess Billy's wife was recording, Miss Rosa. She was recording it on live on Facebook Live, and within like 3 days, or maybe two, because the next day I didn't pay any attention. The next day I was tired, but the day after when we got back home, I looked at it and I'm like, this has 100,000 views and 100,000 likes and clicks or whatever. All almost 100,000 shares, and it was crazy. My phone started ringing off the hook, and everything was happening so fast, and a bunch of people started calling, and but that was the start of, I think, I guess, getting out to other people, more people seeing me. Was that viral?
So how did that make you feel looking at those numbers?
I was happy. I was really happy because I mean I've got a video that was at like 99,000 views, but
Hmm.
that knowing that, you know, blues lovers all over the world saw that, and different people were calling, and you know I was getting offers to play on records and whatnot. It was really joyful because it had never happened. I was very happy. I was overexcited.
Well, at your age too, you want some support from the fact that you do all this and you work hard at it, that you people actually like what you do. And I've always said that it's like well, when Matthew and I were talking, and I said, if you bring an album out, I think it was Sam I was talking to, but you bring out music, and if one person says, "I really like that," it's really nice. I mean, you're like, okay, one person liked it, or several people tell you that. But when you get hundreds of thousands of people, because one thing I've learned a long time ago is nobody watch your videos unless they like them.
Right.
And I think what I liked about you, in the same way about you, is I know the dedication that you have in your craft. And the one thing that is difficult, I think, especially in the blues genre, is you can sing a song about blues, but you have to actually live some of it to go, okay, can I put the feeling in it?
Yeah. It's all
It,
about the feeling. I mean,
yeah, and it's all
you can
about feeling.
sing,
So,
you can sing and play all day long, but if
yeah,
you're not feeling it and if you haven't experienced anything, are you actually singing the blues?
yeah. So it's one of those things that you have to go through, growing up and all the crap you have to go through, and you're like, okay, you know. That's why when you look at people and they talk about their woman left them and all this stuff, it's like because their woman left them and they've been through all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
A bunch of people, the women have left me. So,
yeah,
that's
well, they always have their women left them. But the other thing too, I think for you is, and I really appreciate this, is the fact that, as Joe Bonamassa would say, is you're keeping the blues alive.
well, I
Uh,
mean, in my opinion, I mean, the blues ain't never been on life support, I
no,
mean,
no,
it's
no, no. I'm not saying that, but it's you know this. It's a very selective group of people that like the blues. I mean,
definitely.
not everybody can go and listen to 3 hours of playing three chords or whatever, whatever it is. And so it's either, I think it's one of those things you either like it or you don't like it. There's nothing in
Right.
between. So it's not like pop music where people can go on or rap and people go, oh yeah, I kind of like that. With when it comes to blues, you have to be into it.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate your dedication, not only to the craft, but the history. Because most young people don't delve into what they're doing. I used to ask people, younger people, that do you know anything about this guitar player or that guitar player? And if it wasn't somebody that was new or somebody had been around for a couple of years, they were like, I don't know who you're talking about. It's
My
like,
thing is, if you don't know the history and the sadness behind the music and even the joy behind it, are you really playing it? That's my whole thing. You know,
well, I think
Uh,
you're a cover band,
yeah.
and everything you do on your new album is all everything you wrote. So, and let's talk about that real quick. When do you write the song, the lyrics? Do you write the lyrics, or do you come up with the melody first? I mean,
Everybody,
everybody does it differently. I always write the melody and or the music, and then I put the lyrics to it.
I can do it either way. For some of the songs on the album, I wrote the lyrics first, and vice versa for the others. I probably wrote the melody first, but like in most situations, it's melody first. But maybe I might have something written from conversations or something.
Mm.
I'll start to writing on it, and then I'll just wait and think of come up with an arrangement, later. So
Do you do you have a particular key you like to write in? Where's your voice? I know where mine is. Where is your voice the best, you think, when you write in a song? What key?
I would say C or
C.
B flat.
Okay.
Well, or A minor. A minor for sure, because most of my solos or most of my original stuff is minor. Um,
So you stay in the minor stuff.
or it's either in like B flat. It's a mixture, but
So what you write around those three notes there. I mean, right for
somewhat.
A, B, B flat, C, right in that range, right there.
I've
Yeah,
got
you
one song in F sharp minor, and the band's like, "What?"
got.
So it just depends on how I'm feeling and what sounds, uh, what makes you gravitate to, what makes the people gravitate to it more. Because I can figure out how to sing something in
Oh, sure.
art, but whereas I can work that out. I want whatever the people can gravitate towards and whatever they can feel the most, whatever key they can.
Well, and that song written by Tracy Chapman, "Give Me One Reason," which Jelly Roll did again. That was an F sharp minor.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if she capo, but it's F sharp minor, B, and then yeah C sharp, whatever it is. So it's like, and I remember the first time I heard it, I went, okay, what key is she playing this in? Because I started playing along with it, and then I went, oh, okay, it's kind of an A area because it's F sharp minor. Um, so what is the expectation when you'll be releasing your new music?
We're not sure currently, but sometime 2025, early 2025, March, April.
Okay, so spring, and then will
Watch.
you go out and try to support it?
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Okay, yeah. So with the help of some of the people that you've met along the way, now you can get or at least get people to play, perform with you,
Yeah,
because I know you've done stuff solo, but I'm sure you really want to have a band behind you and do
I
the whole
like
thing.
both. I
Do
like
you
both.
really? Okay.
I mean, with solo, you don't have to worry about if somebody has learned their part or if
That's true. That's true.
And plus, you can. I know how to carry the whole thing. But with a band, it's magical. And sometimes I just do both. I'll tell the band to go off of the stage for 20 minutes an hour.
And I tell this to people all the time. I just had this conversation with a friend of mine the other day. I said, I really appreciate people that can sit down with a guitar on a stage and hold the interest of the crowd, just them and the guitar. And if you can do that, then you've accomplished a lot. Because the next being with a band is just kind of gravy. If you can sit down
Right.
and play song, I was at a recording academy event last week, I think it was before, and one of the people that came out. He was a country singer, came out with a Martin guitar, and sat down and started doing his thing. Everybody stood there and watched him, and I thought this is what you want to be when you're a performer, is everybody can hear you,
Well,
and then because there's nothing between you and the audience really. I mean, music. Your music is the raw thing. Then they can see who you really are. And but I think also that as you grow as a performer, and you know this because you've done this for just a short time, but you've done it a long time compared to how old you are. Um, you just get better and better, and it gets so to the point where I've said this many times. You know, you go to a concert and you have an opening act, and they're usually pretty good, but then the main act comes on. They make three notes. You're like, okay, now I know why they're the main act. There's something about that main act because they've been playing so many years together. You
yeah,
know, performing a long
sometimes,
time. Well,
sometimes.
most of the time, yeah, because now
But
it's all.
like when we first started recording, from the first, when we did the first GoFundMe just for the recording, um, like 2 years ago, I had that money, and when we first started recording this year, everything was good. We were like, okay, that's what we want. We're gonna keep that. And then I go back 6 months later, and I do like I recorded two different songs. He's like, Matthew's like, oh man, you got to record all of that over. I mean, he's like, that's good. We can release that, for something else or the singles or something. But that is, I mean, and it was 6 months later, so yeah,
Did you play when you recorded? Was it a band playing with you, or
it's
or
all
did?
solo.
Oh, it is okay.
It's all solo.
So if you didn't like it, you can go. I don't like it. Let's do it again because it's your song.
Yeah, for the most part,
Yeah.
there's two or three songs with percussion that we could call them in again, but you know, um, for the most part, I'm satisfied. I'm very satisfied, and I do listen back, and I'm like, I could have done that better. But then I think, well, if I think about going back and doing it better, why? I mean, I I felt that. I don't know if I'll do it the same way this
Oh
time.
yeah. No, no, no. I think that's a
Never
hard
gonna be the
thing.
same.
No, it's never the same because there's a moment in time that's the moment where you are. And sometimes you might do it two or three times, and the third time's better than the first, but then that's it. Because then when
Right,
you leave the booth, it's over
right,
because you can't come back and change that. And if you listen to the classic albums from the 70s, all that, they didn't, they didn't keep going back. First off, people can't afford it unless they got a label behind them. And it has a rawness. I just finished interviewing, and they won a Grammy this year. Three guitarists, and everything they did was done live. I mean, they overdubbed some stuff and added some stuff, and it
right.
was live. But you can hear the song that they won the Grammy for. You can hear the rawness in it because it was
That's the
like
type
three
of
people
music.
playing around, and you can appreciate that.
Definitely.
So So tell me, here you are, young Rell. What's your short term and long term goals?
Well, short term. Well, I to be honest, I really just wanna. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. So I really wanna, just let my music. I want to get this album out first of all, and then I want to let my music, speak for me. There's a message in every song that I write, and every song that if I cover a song, there's a message in it. But I want to be able to take this around the world, and let other people uh, know that the blues is it's all right, as Little Milton would say. Um, Long term, I'm going to college, not 25, but 26, end of 25. So I want to go to college for music entertainment,
Sure.
and I hopefully when I finish, if I decide that I'm going to stay, you know um that I can go start back going across the world and playing the blues for all the people. I want to I want to do this differently, from the muddy waters and the gently hooker. You know, I don't I don't wanna I don't want you know I want people to know that it's okay to do you, be you, and to it's it's okay if you're not with a big label, or if
Mm, yeah,
it's okay. You can do this on your own.
yeah.
It's better to do it on your own, and know that you're not being cheated, and then to and but sometimes you can cheat yourself. So you also
I,
want to make
I
sure.
think as a political statement, this is my personal opinion about it. We went through, and this is for your time with all the record companies, and I've been through all all the types, records, 8 track, cassettes, CDs, you know, and now streaming. And the major people have always most people, because you take Prince is a prime example. Prince was on Warner. He didn't like what they were telling him because execs were telling him one thing. He didn't want it because they're not creative. They're just there to make money. And I understand that because it's a corporation. And then that's when he changed his name. He said, I'm not going to do this anymore under Prince. So let's digress a little bit and talk about, and I know a little bit from just a year ago, but I have to admit it had to be difficult for you to go online and ask for people to donate money
Definitely,
to you.
definitely. I'm
So how did that all come about?
well,
I mean, I know why you're moving.
right.
I understand that part of it.
Well, I mean, we don't have much money, so it was kind of hard, to kind of we wanted to get out of here because the neighbors were really, yeah. But so it was pretty much me and Matthew's idea, and mom, to try to see if we could maybe put together a GoFundMe, not only for the move, but to finish the album, because we definitely don't have the money to finish,
Yeah.
to record an album. It's expensive,
Yes, sir.
uh, you know and we were at first. I was like, well, maybe I'm getting some gigs, some good gigs, and I can save up and do this and that. But then it started to get worse, the situation here. And we really wanted to be able to put something out for next year, so we can promote me, promote my brand, in a better way, than just, oh, well, he doesn't have an album, so it's
Yeah.
better to have. So it was that, plus the neighbors. And I mean, we just,
And I understand the response has been fairly good.
yeah, we're at 11 grand, I think,
And
almost
what's your
almost
goal? What's your goal?
21. We made the
Okay.
goal for the 21 grand. We made the goal for the move, which was 7,500, and it helped tremendously. And now we're trying to make the goal for the album, which is 13 grand. Which it won't only go for studio time, mixing and mastering, but pressing of CDs, and you know, we're thinking of maybe doing a 45, or whatnot. Something, it's going to go for publicists and whatnot.
Well, and then you go to the next level, which you need PR people. I mean,
Right.
you got to get people out there, and it's just you and your mom, right? Am I correct on that?
Mhm.
It's just you and your mom?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. And what does your mother do?
Oh, she's a health, like a, what they call a CNA.
Oh, okay. Okay, I know what that is. So basically, it's you and your mom. And for those people who listen to this, because the reason I have him on here, young Rell, is the fact that I think he's a great performer, but also there's tough times in our lives that sometimes you don't know where to turn. And that's what I said earlier. I think it's pretty gutsy to go out because it's like, I don't really want to do this, but I need to do it. And you've had people respond, which is good. And you have neighbors where you are now that continually, because he's always playing his guitar. He's what a phenomenal harp player, my friend. and then people calling the police showing up all the time. So it's like we can't stay here. So they had to move. Now, you didn't move that far away though, did you? You moved like
No, we haven't moved far away. It's
okay.
10
And but
minutes.
now you have a house though, right?
Now we have a
You have a
house,
house.
so now I can plug into an amp now. So which at first it wasn't a problem for the first 2 years, but
Yeah. Yeah.
then some reason it became, which is okay. I understand,
Yeah.
but it was hard to practice harmonica too. So we had to do something, or I was just gonna sit here and get rusty and not be able to play nothing.
Right.
So
Well, I your story is probably a lot of people in your position don't have the money, need the help. Performers, I mean, good Lord, there's a lot of people that don't have the money to hire a publicist or anything like that. And if you're lucky along the way, you find people that support you, not necessarily financially, but introduce you to the right people, which can
right.
get you to the next road. And then as you become, it's kind of a pathway that sometimes you're like, okay, I'm going to take this risk. And if you see it continually get better, I mean, you're going to get better. You already have as a performer, but then getting the gigs and actually people paying you on a regular basis, because that's really what you want to do. You want to do that for a living. And I'm sure, knowing you, if you made enough money, you'd buy your mom a house, a car, and make
Definitely.
sure you're taking care of mama, and doing your thing, and that's what you got to do. So it's my honor to be able to promote this and get people hopefully to go and I was gonna say GoDaddy. The GoFundMe will be out there so people can go and click on it and support you and your goal. I think it's wonderful you got enough now to move into the other house. Okay, what's the biggest name that you've had where people said they liked your music?
Well, I mean, there's Kingfish, which
Oh, that's right. I remember you know him, don't you? Yeah,
yes, it's my buddy.
yeah.
Let's see, biggest name,
Well, that's a pretty big name, Kingfish.
Jackson Brown.
Jackson. Now that's interesting. And
Um,
how did he come across? Did he go to your site or how did you know?
I have a TikTok uh, account, and I,
Okay.
I was posting videos, and one day the verified account just started commenting on like one or two of my videos, and he's like, I really enjoy what you do, and I really like what you do.
You so fine, wanna love you all the time. You so fine, pretty baby, wanna love you all the time. Well, I got a girl, fine and brown. What I like about her is she mine, oh mine. She's so fine. Well, she's so fine. She's a fine, healthy thing. Wanna love her all the time. Well, I gave her all my money, buy her diamonds, everything. Says she be mine, y'all, she didn't do a thing. She was so fine.